Hi there, Michael Eskin here with another ABC Transcription Tools demo. Today I'm going to sort of get in the weeds a bit on how to create single line multi-voice tunes where you only see the melody line and the additional voices are hidden. Everything plays at the correct pitch and it looks pretty on the screen. So I have this version of Greensleeves here. This is for cello and harpsichord. So the top line is the cello line and the two lines below are for the harpsichord. Let me play a few bars of it. So the end goal here is to end up with just the cello line, just the top line, and to not see the harpsichord lines. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and color code these voices just so you can see them more easily. And to do that, I can use a voice color directive. So we'll leave the top line as black and we'll make the voice 2 blue and we'll make voice 3 green. Just so you can see the different colors. So to combine the voices, we're going to use a score directive. And we put open parentheses and then we just list the voice numbers. And you can now see that the voices are all combined onto one staff. And we'll go ahead and play it, but you'll hear there's immediately a problem. So what's happened there is that this voice 1 transpose has carried forward and is now being applied to the other two voices. And this is a limitation of ABCJS's playback engine. You think, no problem, I can just set a transpose on these other voices. Let's say we'll just bring them back up 12. And that should fix the issue, right? Well, it doesn't. Fortunately, there is an easy fix for this. Go ahead and delete those transposes on the voices. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to put a MIDI transpose at the beginning of voice 2. And we're going to undo the transpose minus 12. And we're just going to say transpose 0. And we're going to do the same thing for voice 3. So now when we play it back, we'll get the correct octaves. And at this point, we could change the voice colors to transparent to hide them. But you can see the end result here isn't very pretty and there's weird staff stuff going on and all that. So the first thing we have to do is we have to make all the staffs the same. So we'll take that to treble clef. And while that improves things somewhat, I mean, those voices are hidden. So if I were to show those voices again, we'll make this again blue and green. You can see that those bass lines are now requiring a lot of ledger lines and they're increasing the overall staff height quite a bit. It should still play correctly even with everything at treble clef. So looking at what's happening with that bass line, you can see that that's the thing that's really making those staffs quite tall. And one option in ABC that you can use to change the visual representation of a voice is called the octave directive. So I'm going to put an octave equals 1 on that bass line. And you can see now those notes have now moved up an octave visually, but they've also moved up an octave when we play them. So to compensate for that, I'm going to have to transpose the playback down 12. So now it should play correctly. And if we hide those voices, you can see we now have a much more compact visual representation. But I think we can do even better. So let's show them again with the color coding. And now I'm looking at voice 2. And voice 2 goes quite low at times. So we're going to apply the same principle to voice 2 here. We're going to say octave equals 1. That raises it up an octave. That's also going to change the playback pitch. And then we're going to transpose the playback down 12. Let's play it just to make sure it works. And that's perfect. So we're going to go ahead and hide voice 2 and 3 by changing them to transparent. And now you can see we have a very nice compact representation of the tune. I think this is about as compact as we're going to be able to get it using the transpose and octave directives. But there's still one issue that we need to address. So let's go ahead and play it. So as you probably noticed, even though we're not seeing those additional voices on the notation, when we played the tune, those notes on voice 2 and 3 were highlighted. So there's one additional directive you need to add, and it is play _ highlight _ V1 only. And what this does is it tells the player to only light up the notes for voice 1 and to ignore all the rest. So with that in place, if we play the tune, we'll actually get the final result. So as I said, we were kind of getting into the deepest weeds here as far as what you can do with these multi-voice combined tunes, but I wanted to show you the process by which you can create something like this, which is actually pretty exciting and really hasn't been possible before with ABC. So I hope this was interesting and useful to you. If you have any questions, please let me know.